He used to head of WikiLeaks.
Oh yeah, fair. Oh, he was thrown out of.
How are you? How are you? How are you doing?
Hi. So, did you manage to get back in or no?
Yes,
You did.
after the protest and the tweets, it took only a minute for them to react and.
But I didn't get where you were thrown out or where you had to leave. Why did you have to leave?
Well, I got no explanation. They just told me when I got to the court.
This is being recorded, though.
Yeah.
I was talking.
Just before I got to the public gallery, my name was called out, and I was informed that is that editor of WikiLeaks here? So I've been informed by the court that you were not allowed in the public gallery.
You still don't know why?
Still haven't got no explanation. But after I announced this outrage here, and people started tweeting it, within minutes there was some reaction, and the head of security here came and said this was some kind of a mistake. They did apologize, but I have no explanation of why this happened in the first place. But I have no doubt about it that the strong reaction, the retweets, and just did the job. Because
you see, I've been going to these courts since 1967. You see, the rules in relation to the public gallery is that I don't know how many seats is in there. It's a 22. You see, so yes. So if 22 people queue up, the first 22 people that are queued up are allowed to go in. And that's it. That is the procedure. You see, sometimes they will allow, we'll say, family members or legal representatives into the body of the court. Sometimes.
I mean, there's a special seat there for the public.
There's also one for the journalists.
Family.
There's also one for the There's a section for the family, and then there's a section for journalists as well.
There's an overflow room for the journalists.
Oh, is there as well? Oh, yeah. But how many seats is in the court? There's only about 8 or 9 for journalists. On the what they call the press bench, there's only about 8 seats on that.
So now that you're here, what's your impression of how did it go today?
Well, it's the strength of the arguments that we are seeing piling up here against the hollowness of what is being presented on the behalf of the U.S. It's just overwhelming, and we're only on day 2 of this one. Yeah. And I mean, in a world where actually.
He was handcuffed 11 times. Moved between 5 different.
Facts matter. In a judicial process where the law would matter, I wouldn't be concerned at all. My friend here, John Lewis, said earlier, if this was a jury trial, it would already be over. It's such an overwhelming evidence being presented here already on day 2. It should be game over already.
But you're worried nonetheless.
Of course I'm worried. Just see the process. I've never experienced as a journalist for 30 years the kind of process where concerned citizens and the public are thrown outside the premise of the court. Not just outside the building, but outside the lawn.
Yeah.
Good job,
they have been demanding cards from the public. Do you have a card? So what do you mean?
I'm a citizen reporter, right? I just carry this device, and yesterday I was okay to be there and talk to everybody. This morning nobody's there except the police officer saying, "Where's your press card?"
Well, not just the press, but everybody else said, "Where is your card?" And people say, "I'm the public. I don't need a card." Yes, you do need a card. Yeah. So what kind of world is this? Do you need where do you get the card to be a citizen allowed into a courtroom? What kind of it's ridiculous.
Good for you, mate.
The
only thing I didn't catch is your name. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Jim Curran.
Okay, Jim.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks for talking.
Throughout the publicly available information, publicly available to the US as well as everybody else, to show that how the extradition request is construed on basically fabrications and misinterpretations, fully and knowingly by the US. And the judge has to take into consideration, is he being lied to in the document presented by the US to the court when they are demanding extradition? So that was very strong. What was also of grave concern was the fact that the treatment of Julian, is horrendous. He was handcuffed 11 times yesterday On the way back and forth to the courthouse from the prison, which is just around the corner from here, he was strip-searched twice in that process. That is a humiliation that he has to endure as a free man, as an innocent man. Not free, he should be. And more importantly, they took away his documents, the court documents, when he went back to the prison after the court date yesterday. The lawyers were complaining about their treatment because it should definitely be a violation of every principle in the book and every human rights consideration to behave in that manner. But on the arguments, I am very optimistic. If politics would not be in place here, I would be very optimistic that this should be over basically by the end of this day, if there was any justice in this world.
Free Julian Assange today!
We've also heard appalling details, yet more appalling details of Julian's treatment. He's being constantly strip-searched. He can't have his court papers. His court papers are taken off him as soon as he leaves the court. He's not allowed to read the papers, because the only time he's allowed the papers is while the trial is actually in process. He's given no time to read the papers and to participate in his defence. He's continually being harassed and handcuffed. Today his lawyer, his Spanish lawyer, left the court to go back to Madrid at the end of this morning's proceeds, and Julian stood up to shake the hand of his Spanish lawyer, and he was physically restrained from shaking the hand to say goodbye of the lawyer. This is absolutely appalling.
It wasn't Hrafnsson, no?
Listen,
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he was the lawyer that was involved here in England for the extradition of state terrorist Pinochet.
Yeah.
Jeremy Corbyn and myself were involved in that case.
Yeah. The physical abuse continues, and it's absolutely ludicrous. We saw the attempt to bar WikiLeaks from attending the court at all. They haven't worked out which one is me yet, which is
fortunate. So why was he sent out of the court in England, you know?
We never did discover. I mean, we were told the order had come down from the court office, which means the order had come from the judge.
Yeah.
But why he was sent out, and we asked, and they refused to say. And it was only after, obviously, everybody started tweeting it and the fuss was kicked up on social media. And then suddenly he was reinstated, and there was no reason given for either the banning or for the reinstatement. But it's totally arbitrary. The entire thing is but the whole idea is to show the power of the state and terrify everyone. All this is about nothing but intimidation. These, why am I speaking to you through a cage? This is all about intimidating us.
Well, the very fact that this court was constructed, that was the purpose of its construction.
No, exactly. This is an instrument of oppression.
Yeah.
It's not in any sense a court of justice. Anyway, I'd better go back in, or they might not let me back in again.
Thank you. Take care.
All the best.
Good to see you.
All the best, guys. Good luck.
Thank you. Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
Every nation in every region now has a decision to make.
You think I'm joking? Predator drones. You will never see it coming.
Laat staan dat ik kan ingaan over vuur.